All right. Brown's here. Hey, Brown. Jack's here. I saw Jack's mom, one of our VIPs, one of the most VIPs. Jack's mom, thank you for being here. You'll see her in the live chat helping us all out. Breda's here, Claire's here, and I see the recording is started. So I'd like to welcome everyone watching the recording. Sad you can be with us live, but we'd love to hear what you think about today's lesson. If you're visiting LearnBridge Online and trying out a lesson, learning from our wonderful teacher, Jack Stocken. My name's Bajir. I created LearnBridge Online for bridge learners like us so that we could learn from some of the best bridge teachers from around the world. Jack Stocken sure fits that bill. Let's get to it. Please join me in a warm welcome. I'm calling him up to the stage now. The regulars know how to do. They send some emojis up. You can go ahead and do that if you know how. Here he comes. The man of the hour. Hey, Jack.
Well, I've even put on a jacket and shirt today, Bajir, for the special occasion.
I see you looking very sharp, even more sharp than usual.
Had a haircut as well, yes, and I'm ready. I mean, I love these promotions. It only happens, well, twice a year, but this is the main one in November to celebrate also Black Friday coming up next week.
That's right. So just real fast, I'll turn it over to you, but just wanted to thank again all of our members, all of the regulars who invited friends, family, folks from the Bridge Club. The word of mouth from you guys makes all of this possible. So thank all of you. Thank you guys so much. And for the visitors, welcome. Let's get to it, Jack. I'll turn it over to you and I'll come back at the end to help wrap things up.
It's all about learning bridge, Bajir. The clue is in the title of the website, but thanks for the intro. We've got Jack's mum on board. There has been some snow overnight in Harrogate. It is perfect weather for our bridge lesson. Big welcome to all the newcomers from abroad, of course. Bajir's mentioned that. Massive hello to all those watching in replay. Could be any time of the day for you. And of course, all our regular subscribers as well who are here. Right, well, let's get going. So this lesson is for intermediates and improvers. Card placing. Well, declarer can often pick up clues about how to play a hand of bridge by remembering the bidding, okay? The dog that didn't bark in the night, all that kind of stuff. So there's Sherlock Holmes. First, we should look at when an opponent has bid. That's easier to remember. It's harder when you have to pick up inferences when a player has passed. Okay, let's get going. So these are things to look out for. If an opponent is overcalled, then they must have a 5-card suit. If they overcalled with a 4-card suit, they'd be in 5 years of bridge prison, no parole. If they've doubled your suit, they'll be short in it, typically 2 cards, singleton, or void. You might well play the trump suit differently. If they've opened 1 no trump, they'll have 12 to 14 if they're playing weak. Obviously, they're playing strong no trump, 15 to 17. Preempted, then they'll be short in the other 3 suits and most likely to have a singleton somewhere in their hand, 4 to 1 on. So these are all things to look out for. Right, let's hop straight in to our first hand. So East has opened 1 no trump. Now that's an Acol 12 to 14 over from East. You've overcalled 2 spades with your 15 points. Close to a double. Some might double on that. I prefer with balanced 15s to just a bit of suit. I wouldn't mind double there particularly. North has raised to 3 spades. Now that's not level of the fit. That is an invitation to game. Okay, you don't do level of the fit when someone's opened 1 no trump. There's no point. You're just preempting yourself for the sake of it. The 1 no trump is not going to bid again. So 3 spades in this bidding situation is an invitation to game. And of course, South accepts with a maximum. So that's 4 spades. Lead is the Jack of clubs. All right, promising the 10. And normally, well, they're going to take their 3 club tricks, and then we've got to try and manage the spade suit, haven't we? Let's just have a look at the thought process of trick 1 there. Count up the points between dummy and declarer. So dummy has 11 and declarer 15. That's 26. Remember the East open 1 no trump. So they have the rest of the points. Okay. So that's really important. Good habit to get into. How would you normally play that spade suit? Here's your first question of the morning to get you started. I ask lots of questions in my classes to keep you involved and interactive. How would you normally play that spade suit? You can be in either hand. You've got 9 between you. So remember the rhyme, 8 ever, 9 never. Well, people sometimes remember the rhyme, but they forget what it's to do with. It's to do with missing the queen. So with 9 between us there, we would plonk down the ace and the king, playing for the drop, wouldn't we? Yep. If we only had 8 between us, we would finesse the queen. Probably playing the ace first in case of a singleton queen to our left. Okay. Yeah. And happy days when they divide 2-2. Or if it's a singleton queen. Right. Let's move on. So, we've got to try and play 4 spades here, haven't we? Have you worked out your strategies? We've got work to do in the spade suit, the trump suit, and work to do in the heart suit as well. There's a 50-50, what we call a two-way finesse in hearts. Well, let's see what happens. I tell you what, let's go straight on to BBO now, because now's a good time to visit BBO, where I've laid out the hand here. We normally play 4 hands on BBO in our Monday and Wednesday classes, set hands that I've set up. So we'll just go through the bidding. It was a 1-no trump opener. That's an ACOL 12-14, overcall of 2 spades, 3 spades invitation to game, and 4 spades. Yes, I'm maximum. Yes, and when for newcomers, quite a few newcomers actually, for the promotional lesson, I always have all 4 hands laid out. Yeah, it's just easier that way to see what's going on for teaching purposes. Right, well, let's see what happens. So they win with the play low. Oh, excuse me. Another club to the queen. Cheapest of touching honours for East, of course, 3rd player. It'd be wrong to play the ace or the king. Oh, thank you, Sam. Yes, hope I haven't got a cold coming on. Don't think so. And another club. And no point playing another club here. We're not going to get a trump promotion. We had a 5-card suit, Ellie, just by the way. We have 5 spades to the ace king. Anyway, so they would switch to what I would say a safe diamond. There we go. Winning with the queen. So we need to draw the trumps. And we'll start with the jack here. Would you cover with the queen if you were East? Here's another question for you. Would you cover with... Just cover an honour with an honour, isn't it? So you know from the bidding, we can pull up the bidding always on BBA. That's why it's easier to play online in some ways. You just click on the 4 spades south and the bidding comes up for you. You can't do that in face-to-face. Once the opening lead has been made, you're not allowed to ask about the bidding again. You have to remember it. There is absolutely no point. You're just going to make life easier. So you play low in tempo. You don't even think about it. You know that South has got 5 spades for their 2-spade overcall. And you know the partner's got a singleton. Now, here's the key thing. Just looking at the North-South cards, would you play the ace here or the king, or would you play low? I think you were looking at the wrong hand, Elias. Easily done. Well, normally we play the ace king, but the bidding has told us that East has got all the points. Yeah, there were 14 points available. West has led the jack of clubs. The remaining 13 points must be with East. So, hi, hello, Sarah. We take the finesse. And our card reading skills have paid off. We have gone against the grain by listening to the bidding. So now we can play a small one. Notice how we played the jack of spades there to try and tempt East to cover, just to make our life a bit easier. And again, to the 10. Draw the last trump. Notice West is being quite crafty here. They're not throwing away their hearts to give the game away. Okay, so now we've got a 50-50 guess in hearts. Now, if there's no bidding, you literally could guess either way. You could either play the 3 to the Jack of Hearts, or go to dummy with the King and play the 4 of Hearts to the 10. It's what we'd call a two-way finesse position. But the points are with these, so we can go to the 3 of Hearts, to the King, let's say. We can play a small heart. Second player play low. And which one from Declarer? And this is a really useful lesson, even though I say it myself, I'm biased, because it just gets you in the mindset of thinking back to the bidding, which is difficult for improvers and intermediates. You know, even the club experts sometimes will struggle to remember exactly what went on. So we put in the 10, of course. And again, give ourselves a pat on the back. Metaphorically, not physically, because that'd be gloating. But yes, our card playing skills have paid off. We'll just play out the last few cards, just because it's polite to our robots. Robots like playing out the cards to the bitter end. Actually, robots don't care. There'll be no more closing your eyes, Caroline. Yes, now the finesses will work better for you. And we make 420 there for what will be a very good result. A, because we're in game, and B, if we had doubled, by the way, interestingly enough, had it gone 1 no trump, had South doubled, West would have bid 2 diamonds, playing natural methods. Remember, transfers and stamen don't work after a penalty double of 1 no trump. The expression is no convention after intervention. I always have to remember I say that the right way around. But yes, well done for that. Let's go back to the classroom. And that was the full hand, of course. It played like an open book. And there's a caption. We do try and brighten up the captions with, sorry, the slides with some captions as well. So that's an open book. Card placing. Declarer can also pick up clues if an opponent has not bid, i.e. pass. Now, this is more difficult. If an opponent has not opened the bidding, then they will have 11 points or less. Yeah, it's fairly obvious. Also, if an opponent has not responded to an opening suit bid, then they will have 5 points or less, or sometimes even 4 points or less, because with 5, really, we should bid something if we play weak 2s. And there's an Agatha Christie book. Yes, it's all about clues. You know, it's about Miss Marple, Poirot, that type of thing. And give yourself a pat on the back if you've ever read Mrs. McGinty's Dead. Right, so let's have a look at this hand. So West has passed, as has North and East. As South, you've opened 1 heart. Your partner's jumped to 3 hearts, 10 to 12 points. Well, be 10 or 11, wouldn't it, because they passed first time. And you push on to 4 hearts using the losing trick count. 6 loser hand, isn't it? Okay, so 6 loser hand. And the lead is the Ace of Diamonds, followed by the King, followed by the Queen, which we ruff. Yes, why did North pass, Katrine? Oh, they only had 10 points. Yeah, as opener. Yeah, so 3 passes, South opened a heart. And yes, now you do open with 12 points, but North only has 10. Right, so they've then had the Ace, King, Queen of Diamonds, and we've roughed it. Thought process at trick 1. Analyze the opening lead. West led the Ace, so they've got the King. Remember that West passes dealer. Should we just have a look at that? How should Declarer play the trump suit? That's going to be the key thing. Okay, so without any opposition bidding, you know, let's just say South opened a heart, so you've got no clues in the bidding. How would you normally play that combination? With no clues to the bidding. Obviously, no one's passed and no one's bidden anything. Which card do you play from Declarer's hand? That's quite interesting. Do you play the Queen, 10, 9, 8, 4? Which one? Yes, we do. Just whilst you're thinking about that, 2 classes every week. Intermediates for the more experienced on Mondays at 9:30 UK time in the morning, and Wednesdays 9:30 like we are now for our improver class, the slightly less experienced. We just covered transfers last week. I would actually run the Queen there. Yes, it's more tempting for West to cover if you play the Queen, isn't it, rather than the 10 or the 4. Also, if it holds the lead, you're in the same hand. So it definitely would be wrong to play the 4 there. We play the Queen first. Because we got the 10, 9 and the 8, it doesn't really matter which one we play. Okay? And if the Queen wins, you see, we're still in Declarer's hand, which is a bonus. And it's more tempting for West to cover. Yeah, it's a lovely sequence there. Let's go on to BBO to have a better look at this. Now, so where are we? Where are we here? Just load it up. Let's just do our bidding. So it was a pass, a pass, and a pass, and a 1 heart opener. Partner jumped to 3 hearts to show 10, 11 points. Normally 10 to 12, but 10, 11 because they passed earlier. And we pushed on to game. Excellent. So West led the ace of diamonds, followed by the king, followed by the queen, which we roughed. We're going to play the queen of hearts as before. Which one from the dummy now? Just try and focus on the north-south cards. Hopefully you've worked that out before from the classroom. So which one from the dummy? And you can tell me the reason why as well. So 2 marks on offer here. 1, obviously, to play the right card. But more importantly, because you can actually see the cards, why are you doing what you're doing? And remember, we can pull up the bidding at any time on BBO. I think you can on Real Bridge as well. It's a bit of an advantage of playing online. So we know from the bidding that West led out the ace, king, queen of diamonds. That's 9 points. If they had the king of hearts as well, that would have given them 12 points. They would have opened the bidding. So there's no point anymore taking the finesse. So our only hope is to plonk on the ace. Okay. Notice how I played the queen there, just in case maybe West had miscounted their points and felt like covering with the king. It made no difference whether I played the queen, the 10, the 9, or the 8. So our only hope is that East has a singleton king, because we know they've got the king. And hey-ho, Christmas has come early. Rather like all those songs they play on the radio, which start on about November the 1st, by the way, but don't get me started on that. I know some of you like Christmas songs. Hooray! Our skill was paid off with some good fortune. It didn't have to be a singleton king, but it certainly was today. So we can now, with an encouraging 9 of clubs there as a signal, high encouraging, low discouraging. We can just draw the remaining trumps. Fairly straightforward now. Diamond can go. Knock out the ace of clubs. And claim the rest. All winners aren't there. I'll just play them out for you, just because it won't take too much time. Jack of clubs is a winner. Away goes the losing spade. You only led the queen just in case they'd miscounted their points, Stefan. Yeah, it was optional. 9 of spades, rough. It wasn't essential to play the queen of hearts, but good practice. That's 10 tricks. So that was a tough one now. I think it's definitely harder, above the pay grade to work out what's happened when people have passed. Right, so that's 4 hearts made. Again, another good result for us. Let's go back to the classroom. And there we go. That's the full hand you see again for you. Just to have a look at. We played hand 2. There's the full hand again, of course. We'll go back to the end. Right, so we're going to play some more hands now. We've got the theory. So the theory, let's go back to BBO. Actually, in this particular lesson, we do play most of the hands on BBO. In bidding lessons, we spend most of our time in the classroom looking at Google Slides. We still play 4 set hands, but in declare a play lessons, we generally play more on BBO. Now let's have a look at this one here. And it's a pass from north, 1 heart opening from east, 1 spade overcall, pass from west. Okay, so fairly straightforward so far. What do you bid as north with 11 points? Now, depends slightly on your methods with your partner. Yes, normally in bidding lessons we have a lot more Google Slides, but in declare a play lessons like today, we spend most of our time on BBA. Clearly, that's a better thing to do when we're playing out cards. Well, it depends on your methods. I'm going to give you a clue in a minute. One of my famous get out of jail free cards, look, which we use in our classroom. There it is. Couldn't resist giving you one today for the newcomers. Borrowed from my son's junior Monopoly set. Actually hasn't been in his set for about 5 years, but I think he's gone off Monopoly now. Yeah, get out jail free. Have some of you forgotten, because I have taught it to some of you, not all of you, the unassuming cubit. I don't think all the improvers have learned that yet. But you can have another go if you have forgotten to use the unassuming cubit. If you haven't learned the unassuming cubit yet, well, definitely I teach it mainly on my intermediate class on Mondays at 9:30. It's probably in the replay library. Those who have done it, though, it's the most common cause of the problem is forgetting to use it. So we can bid 2 hearts here. I'm even going to alert it. If you weren't playing the unassuming cubit, which is a conventional bid, you need to agree with your partner, you just bid 2 spades there. Yeah, 3 cards support. But this 2 heart bid, for those who've learned it, shows 10 or more points. So here, precisely 10 or 11, as North passed earlier, and 3 or 4 card support for spades. Shauna's claiming sleepiness. Well, you're allowed to, Shauna, given that you live in Canada. East passes. And what next for South, do you think? Knowing that their partner's got 3 card support and 10 or 11 points. Yes, as I say, those who haven't done UCB, it'll come at a later date. It's a useful gadget. Well, yes, they can use the losing trick count, actually, for those who've learned that as well. 6 loser hand. You assume an 8 losing hand for an unassuming cubit, 10 or 11 points. So that's 8 and 6 is 14. Away from 18 leaves you a bit of 4 spades. Or you could use your instinct, which is pretty good as well, by the look of it, because I can read all your answers down the side of my screen. They all scroll down in a box. Good. So well done, Sarah, Chris, Jean, 2 Janes, Rosemary, Ellie, Melissa. Good morning. And opening lead. What would you lead from the West hand? Yes, classes every week of the year. They do give me a day off at Christmas, and sometimes I definitely teach from abroad. Stefan had a query. Yes, no, we welcome overseas subscribers, Stefan, and others. Any problems, you can email Bashir. But we do have subscribers from North America, New Zealand, Australia, quite a few in Ireland. We've got a strong Irish contingent. Yes, I think so. Always likely the ace of partners suit, I must say, but here with a doubleton and with 3 little trumps, we might well get a rough in. Okay, well, never play too quickly at trick 1. I thank partner for the dummy. They've wished me good luck. And I'm thinking to myself, it's 4 spades. I like to count losers in high-level contracts. How many losers have we got? Let's just practice that. Slightly for the more experienced. Yes, some do still struggle to count losers in declarer play. As I say, I tend to count them in 4-level contracts and above. 2 and 3 level is too many. Will I be counting 4 definites? Yes, ace, king of hearts, ace of clubs, and possibly 1 in spades, Shauna, yes. So 3, maybe 4. There's nothing I can do about those losers. But the trump suit, managing the trump suit is going to be key here. Normally, I would take the finesse. Let's have a look how we might get on. And which one does East play now as third player, specifically? King, Queen, 10 or 2. And you'll notice, newcomers, how we're very interactive. I think people don't realize that about online teaching, especially the way I do it. We're always immersing you in the class, asking questions the whole time. It's not just me droning on for an hour of sending you to sleep. And also, Bashir will mention this, at the end we give you a worksheet, a 2-page worksheet with very clear notes for you to download. And there'll be a couple of practice hands as well you can play out yourselves on BBA. You press the play button and then the next button to show you how it should be played by me. And yes, the Queen, good idea to overtake. And followed up with the King of hearts. So good defense so far. Now, which card do we play with? Do we play from South Declarer? Donated by the orange bar, I'm sure nearly all of you are used to BBA. Which one do we trump with? Good morning, Sam. Thanks for joining us. One of our many regulars, been with us several years. Probably from the outset, actually, almost, Sam, I think. Which was 5 years ago. Coming up to 6 years ago since lockdown started. I think it was approximately May 2020. Yes, we need to trump high. Well done. That's the first. Yes, don't send the boy to do the man's job, as it's known as. Or you probably have to say, don't send the girls to do the woman's job now as well. Yeah, that's a bridge expression. If you play the 2, of course, it gets over trumped. Right. Well, we're going to play the Queen, just in case something funny has happened. You could play a low one, but I do prefer to play the Queen here. It makes no difference. I got the Queen, Jack, and the 9. Low from there. And without looking at the East-West cards, in all honesty, which one would you play now? Could have done Ellie. They're probably slightly better off discarding a diamond there. What have your card reading skills told you about this hand? Well, let's just bring up the bidding, because that's really useful. East opened a heart, but equally importantly, West passed. West has already shown up with the ace and the jack of hearts. That's 5 points. So I can think of 3 reasons why we're going to play the ace here. 3, I think. Can we think of those 3 reasons? 3 marks on offer here. Don't have to write them all down if you don't want to. But there is no point taking the finesse. Normally we would, with 9 cards for sure. Even with 10 cards between us, we would finesse the king. 3 reasons. Let me go through them. Well, the first one, and the most important, I think, actually, is West didn't overruff the 10 of spades with the king. Yeah. So if West had the king of spades, they would have overruffed. So that's reason number 1. Reason number 2, West showed up with ace jack of hearts. If they'd have had the king of spades as well, they'd have responded 1 no trump. Or bid something with 8 points there. 1 no trump dustbin would have been suitable. And the third reason, or equally important, as we can see from the bidding, West opened 1 heart. they must have the missing points. So for every reason in the world, and again, it's our lucky day today. I wonder why that's a singleton king. It didn't have to be, but it was. And happiness there. So now we can draw the last few trumps. Discarding a heart, I think. Let's just be a bit careful here. We draw them in the right order. 8 to the 9. And we can just knock out the ace of clubs. Good idea for East to play it at this juncture. Otherwise we make an over trick. And now we just play out the winners. Like that. And we will claim. Yeah, we'll claim those, shall we? Because they're all winners. 420. So 4 spades made. A lot harder at the table, of course. You know, it really is a lot more difficult at the table. You only get to see dummy and declarer. And the pressure's on. And playing face-to-face, you're not allowed to bring up the bidding. You're allowed to ask about it until the opening lead has been made. After that, no. And well done if you remember the unassuming Q bid, just going back to the bidding. I know I've taught it to quite a few of you. Some of the newcomers who are here today for the first time might well have learnt it as well. Very useful convention, the unassuming Q bid. You can Google it if you want to know more about it after the class. But basically, to bid the opponent's suit here as an overcaller shows 10 or more points and 3 card support for the overcall. Ellie's got a question. Is it good etiquette? Yes, Ellie. And this is for others watching as well. Very important that you leave your bidding cards on the table when you're playing face-to-face until the opening lead has been made. Yeah, that's good etiquette, Ellie. It's really, really useful. I'm quite keen on that. I'm not too bossy on it on my bridge holidays, but yeah, it's a really good idea to keep your bidding cards on the table until the opening lead has been made. Because then the opening leader can look to see what's going on. So they must go back after that. Let's have another hand on BBO. What have we got for you lined up? Let's have a little look. Ones I prepared earlier. Oh, yes, let's have a look at this one. Right, so. West is the open. Would you open on the West hand? 11 points. Jack's mum, of course, often helps in our classroom as well, helps asking questions. Yes, it's the rule of 20, isn't it? 11 points and a 5 and a 4 shape, adding up to 20, known as the rule of 20. And would you bid anything with the North hand? What have we got? 15 points? Would you bid with that? Yes, as I said earlier, mostly we use Google and PowerPoint slides, but today we're spending most of our time on BBO because we're playing out hands. Oh, good morning, Phil H. Not sure you're playing tennis this morning. Oh, no, yesterday morning tennis, wasn't it? You probably were, actually. Phil's sort of my locals here in Harrogate. Oz Sandy from down under, good morning. Or might be good evening for you, more like. Yes, some improvers would forget to double here, but it's classic double. Short in diamonds, 12 points or more for takeout. Would you bid anything with the East hand? Just 5 points? Would East respond, do you think? Yes, is the answer. Yeah, definitely after the double. Especially you can be slightly weaker after a takeout double. Yeah, I wouldn't say level of the fit, Ellie. Level of the fit's only for overcallers. I'd definitely bid 2 diamonds here. I'd actually bid 2.5 diamonds, but a half isn't in the box. But yeah, definitely 2 diamonds. It does make life more difficult for North-South to bid, doesn't it? Now, would you bid anything with the South hand now? 4, 6, 8, 9 points. Yes, Bashir, for newcomers, Bashir is definitely going to give you a special offer to tempt you into joining my lessons over the coming weeks. We'll tell you more about that later. Yes, definitely been 2 spades here. Yeah, you got 4, 6, 9 points and 4 spades, yeah. You know, partner's got at least 3 spades, maybe 4. North puts out an invitation with 3 spades. And would you accept the invitation with South? You'd normally jump, Sam, but not when they bid 2 diamonds here. 3 spades is just a bit of a big jump. Yeah, and you've only got 4 spades as well. I think just 2 spades here does the trick. 2 spades shows values here, by the way, Sam and others. You know, if you had a rubbish hand, you just pass it. South definitely showing values. I don't think it's quite strong enough to jump to 3 there. With just 9 points. Jack of diamonds is worth nothing. Just 4 grotty spades. Yeah. It's 2.5 spades, by the way, for South. I think South can accept the invitation now. Yeah, considering they might only have had 6 or 7 points. Okay, so we get to game. Opening lead, King of Diamonds. And again, counting losers. How many losers have we got? Good practice. Looking at it in each suit, probably from declarer's point of view towards the dummy. Quite difficult to count. It's not always easy to count losers exactly. I'd say as many as 5. 2 diamonds and a spade, that's 3. You might have a second spade loser, probably have. And you might have a heart loser. So, yeah, possibly 4 or 5, I would say. Not from when you're supporting, Noli. Is that what you meant? Not when responding to a double, Noli, is what I mean. Yeah, they're not when responding to a double. Andrea, North has 15 points. So they'll send out the invitation. Right, so let's play away. An encouraging 6 there. And what would you switch to? This is interesting. Defense, just looking at the dummy. So West is on lead. They played out 2 rounds of diamonds. Just remembering this quick peek at the bidding, just to remind us what happened. West opened 1 diamond. We know they led the king followed by the queen. So the ace of diamonds we know is with East already, 3rd player. What do you think West would switch to here specifically? Which card? You could switch to a club, a heart, or a spade, but which one is best? Some of you are playing a trumps, some of you playing the 7 of clubs, some of you playing a heart. Oh, well, there's a difference of opinion. Definitely not a diamond. Good, I'm glad you're not playing a diamond. That would give us a rough and a discard. Now, a trump is dangerous from ace-x. I'm afraid if you played a trump, you'd really help declare with the trump suit. They'd only ever lose 1. I think a lot of them, and a heart, even equally as dangerous away from the queen. You're going to give declare a free finesse. They say there's an expression that actually 2 quite experienced players hadn't heard of when I saw them a couple of weeks ago at the bridge table. Whenever you open up a new suit in bridge, it gives away half a trick. Okay, it helps declare is what that means. So actually give yourself a pat on the back, metaphorically, if you switch to a passive, i.e. safe, 7 of clubs. It gives nothing away. Top of a doubleton, of course. Yeah, it's really dangerous to play a trump or a heart here. They do say if in doubt, trump about, but I'd only do that if I had little ones. Right. So, which hand do we want to win in, by the way? So we've got to manage the trump suit. We're going to need a little bit of luck and a bit of skill, because we're going to try and have to lose just 1 trump. If we lose 2 trumps, we're 1 down. So do we want to win on dummy or declare as hand? So and the question is, we're going to play towards an honor, either towards the king of spades or towards the queen of spades? So we need to first of all guess where the ace of spades is most likely to be. So the answer to that question is it's most likely to be where, everyone? Where is the ace of spades? Not just most likely to be, actually, almost certain to be. Look back to the bidding. West opened a diamond. East raised to 2 diamonds. East, we already know, has got the ace of diamonds. So pretty much for a certainty, we know that West has the ace of trumps. Good. So we play small. Don't go up with the ace here. That would give the game away. Towards the honor that we think is going to win. Okay, that's the idea. If this hand had no bidding, it'd be a complete guess, 50-50. So well done. We're ahead of the game. Now, which one from Declarer has south? Well, is there any point in the world playing the queen of spades here? Third player play high. The answer is no, because we know it's going to get beaten by the ace. So we duck it. And hey presto, as luck happens, the ace was doubleton. So we only ever lose one spade trick. Again, they come back a safe club. Remember to draw the last trump with the queen of spades. Again, hanging on to hearts, West, we don't want to give the game away. Now, with trumps drawn, we've got to guess where the queen of hearts is. We could play low to the ace and back to the jack. It's a two-way finesse position if we thought the East had the queen of hearts, or we're just guessing. But again, quick peek at the bidding. We know that West opened the bidding. They've got all the points. Start with the king first, just in case. There's not really much point in playing the king first, to be honest with you. And then a small one to the 10. And again, our card placing skills have paid off because we're going to make the rest of the tricks, which we'll just do quickly. Just following suit, everyone. And we make the 10th trick there. So that would be the top score in your duplicate. Not many declarers at club level. Improvers Media would make that hand. It's really quite a tricky suit combination. 4 rags to the king, opposite 4 rags to the queen. It really does look as though you've got to lose 2 tricks. So remember that suit combination, actually, because it does come up every now and again. 4 to the king, opposite 4 to the queen. You play to the honor that you think is going to win, then you duck the next round. Your only hope of only losing 1 trick is if West started with ace doubleton. If West had started with 3 spades to the ace, you'd always lose 2 tricks. So basically, our good judgment was backed up by a bit of luck. Good. By the way, just on footnote to the bidding, just if, oh, hang on, let's just put that hand up again. Just want to go back to that one a sec. Just a quick footnote to the bidding, because this is a little bidding tip for you. We have got time just about. If, for example, East had passed, some of you did, what would you bid now with the south hand? Just this quick question for you whilst we're there. Just that East had passed, some of you, I mean, we should be bidding 2 diamonds, but what would South have bid now? Makes it a bit easier for South, actually. So if East had passed, South remembers to bid 2 spades with a jump. Yeah, quite a lot of improvers forget that. They bid 1 spade. But remember, 1 spade, because you're being forced to bid, is 0 to 8 points. Yeah, so a 9+, opposite to take out double, you jump. Just to show your strength. So I thought I'd just mention that. And even if you have 5 cards in clubs here, and 4 spades, you still bid 2 spades. You disregard the minor. must show the 4-card major. Okay, so there's a little bidding tip for you for the current subscribers and our special guests who are joining us for the first time this morning. Right, let's play one more hand. What have I got for you? Oh, yes. This is a fun one. Let's have a look at this. This hand here. Okay, so West opens. I teach Jackal, but actually our classes are suitable for strong no trumpers as well. The weak no trump 4-card major doesn't come up very often when we're in our classes. The contract is generally the same anyway. Pass over there with 14. Passes east. 2-heart overcall from south. What next for north? Playing teams of 4 or Chicago bridge, really. What do you think we might bid with? 14 points. Yeah, I think it's clear to jump to 4 hearts here. Maybe playing duplicate, you might invite with 3 hearts, be a bit cautious, but no, it's a nice, decent hand. And never play too quickly at trick 1. We're obviously going to play a low diamond. But thinking about this hand, losers. How many losers have we got here? Those of you who aren't up on counting losers, don't worry. It can take a few weeks, month or two to get used to it. It's just something for you to practice in high-level contracts. It is useful, I do. By the way, some people count certain tricks in trump contracts. That's fine too. Some teachers will tell you to count certain tricks in trump contracts, and that's their method. But I just think it's easier to count to 4 than it is to 9. Yes, I would say 4, maybe 5 here. Not transfers though, Carol, I know that's only for responding to 1 no trump. Right, so we've got a few gaps here. Let's just see what happens with the defense so far. They take 3 rounds of diamonds. Okay, which we rough. Right, now try not to look at the east-west cards. What would you do next as declarer? Clearly, you've got to try and find the king of hearts. The club finesse is going to be 50-50. What are we going to do next? Let's just have a quick peek at the bidding. We've reminded that West open 1 no trump. They've already shown up with 9 points. So they've shown up with 9 points. They've opened 1 no trump, which is a weak no trump, 12-14. Yes, the lesson's always backed up with a 2-page worksheet for you to download and 2 playable hands. And also, once you join LearnBridge Online, you can join our very good community of WhatsApp groups who play on BBO pretty much every day in groups, friendly groups, organised by the lovely Shauna. She has 3 WhatsApp groups. And you meet up, I think there's a game going at least every day now with friendly fellow LearnBridge Online students. Right, well, hang on a second. The words discovery play come to mind, Charles and others. Yes, and Ellie. Because actually, we could be missing the king of... West could have the king of clubs, but they could also have the king of hearts. Yeah, so we don't know actually what's going on just yet. So, yeah. Normally, I would finesse the heart, of course. Run the queen would be with the odds. But we don't know where the missing kings are. West can have one of the 2 kings, but not both. Okay? Both would put them at 15 points. So what we're going to do, everyone, here's a get out of jail free. I will just use it again because I like using it. We're going to make a discovery play. We can discover where the king of clubs is. So let's do that. We play a spade to the ace. We take the club finesse. We'll have to take it at some point. West isn't going to switch to it. Well, it definitely shouldn't. So we're going to take the club finesse first. Ooh, that's interesting. So we have made what we call a discovery play. It's definitely a more advanced technique. If it's going over your head, let it wash over like the warm breeze that's currently coming from behind me with my radiator because it's quite cold today. Yeah, warm breeze. If you don't, if discovery pay is above your pay grade. So they continue with a safe spade. Not giving anything away, but we can come back to hand with the ace of clubs. I'm still going to play the queen of hearts, just in case West has decided to downgrade their hand or, feels like covering. Doesn't cost you anything to play the queen of hearts here. But which one from the dummy? We're going to change the way we played this hand. Normally we'd finesse, but we now know that the king of hearts must be with East. So our only chance is that it's a singleton king. Here's a question. Were we lucky here? Is it possible for East to have king X here? How do we know it's a singleton king here, apart from the fact that the points are there? But thank you, Sam. I'll see you next week. Same time, same place. Well, the reason why we know it has to be a singleton king is that we were missing 3 hearts and West opened 1 no trump, didn't they? So West had to have 2 hearts here. So East could only have 1 heart. So here we actually knew that it was a singleton king. It couldn't be king X because that would have left West with a singleton. Doesn't really matter that. We draw the last trump. Comme ça. Jack of spades to the queen. And we claim with winning trumps. So I hope you like that one. Definitely for the more experienced of our students today, that discovery play. Working out where the missing kings were. Well done if you spotted that in replay as well. Because that was a tough thing to do at the table. So that concludes the lesson. Let's just go back to the classroom one final time. Because we always do this in our lessons. This will be in the worksheet as well, if you remember just 3 things. So firstly, as declarer, think back to the bidding when deciding which opponent is more likely to have a particular honor card. Secondly, if an opponent has not opened the bidding, they'll have 11 points or less. And finally, in your card reading skills, if an opponent has not responded to partner's opening suit bid, then they will have 5 points or less, probably 4. So there we go. That brings us to the end of the show. 10:27 UK time. These lessons are about an hour long. Thank you for joining us. No doubt Bashir will be back now just to finish off.
Thank you so much, Jack. Thank you, everyone, especially folks with us live. Really impressed, not just with the correct answers, but also the incorrect ones. Well done jumping in. Jack, really wonderful lesson, challenging lesson. And gosh, I love how you unpacked, especially that last hand was so beautiful. Not just the discovery play, but how you showed us the clues to realize, okay, we can place that king. We know where it must be.
Yeah, and actually it had to be a singleton king, actually, as it happened, because West must have 2 hearts for their balanced 1 no trump opener. So, yeah, but it is difficult. I would say card placing is definitely one of the harder lessons we do, especially for the improvers on a Wednesday morning. Actually, we've just done transfers, haven't we, with the improvers on Wednesday, just to give people an idea of where we're at. I think next Wednesday at 9:30, we'll be practicing transfers. Then we'll be doing signals and discards, things like that. With the intermediates, they're slightly more experienced. We're doing trial bidding next Monday at 9:30. We do all sorts of things with the intermediates. We do Roman keycard Blackwood. We do splinter bidding. We do end plays. Yeah, slightly more experienced, but not too much, really, more so than the improvers. And I hear, Bashir, that you're in a good mood. You're getting into the Black Friday kind of gist of things, aren't you?
Yes. So it's not quite Black Friday. Whatever that holiday is, it feels like a good time of the year to celebrate and to welcome new folks into the class. So we do have a special offer for new members to join either as an improver or an intermediate. The good news is you can join either the improver class or the intermediate class. You get access to both. You can attend twice a week. And as soon as you become a member, you get access to dozens and dozens, maybe hundreds of past lessons in the lesson library. Jack, I'm almost worried that we're giving away too much for too little.
Yeah.
It's really, it's such a good price. The normal amount that you pay, it's billed every 4 weeks, but it's £8 a week. That's what it comes down to, billed at £32 every 4 weeks. Now, this special offer brings it down 50% for the first 2 payment cycles. So for the first 8 weeks, you'll be paying £4 a week for 2 bridge lessons a week and dozens in the lesson library. Jack, really, I'm second guessing all of this right now. I think we should take it back.
Well, it is Black Friday. It is Christmas coming up quite soon, Bashir. And actually, many of our subscribers have been with us for several years. It's really their guilty pleasure. And one thing we also do, which I haven't mentioned, is every 8 weeks we all play in a live BBO tournament, an ACOL tournament with me going through 8 hands with the help of the students. That's really good fun as well. Really good because it's very realistic and there are always good bidding and play tips in there as well. So that's something we also do every 2 months with both classes. But yes, it's a generous offer. And I'm just delighted how many people we've got this morning, from all over the world, especially from Europe, joining us from North America, Australia, New Zealand. I love doing these promotional lessons. It's great just to open up the game to those who haven't discovered the world of online teaching.
Well, all of us who have been learning with you, Jack, we've all improved our bridge, some quite a remarkable amount. We've also made a bunch of friends, so online friends. Some folks have met up in person. Sleepy Shauna is in the house. She has done an incredible job welcoming folks to meet up online on BBO. So all of this is made possible by the members of Jack's classes. We'd love to have you join us. And come by, see if you like it. Jack, did you let us know what you will be teaching in both the lessons next week?
Yes, so for a week's time, for the improvers who are slightly less experienced, we're practicing transfers. Yeah, because we did those
fairly recently.
Yeah. Mondays, for the more experienced, that's the intermediate class, we're doing trial bidding for game. So typically 1 spade, 2 spades, 3 clubs, can you help me in clubs? So that's what we're doing with the intermediates.
Wonderful. So if you're not yet in the class, why don't you join? You can attend both next week, see which one you identify with more, and you could join that, but you're always welcome to attend both live lessons each week. We also do a ton of other live practice sessions, live meetup sessions on LearnBridge Online for members of all our different classes. We'd really love to have you join us. If you have any questions that I didn't address, you can always reach me, hello@learnbridgeonline.com. I'll respond personally. I'd love to help make sure we find the right class for you. So whichever level you think you're at, we might even have some beginners here. We have a beginner class for you as well, which Jack also teaches. So we'll take care of you, whatever level you play at.
Just a couple of answering questions, Bajir, just whilst we're there. Stefan's got a question from Germany. Is it ACOL only, or can I join with 2/1, etc.? Yes, Stefan, you can. My classes are ACOL only. But, it doesn't matter if you play other systems. 95% of it will be relevant to you. It's rare that we have 1 no trump openers and 4 card majors. So 95% of these lessons will be useful for you, Stefan. Although Bashir does, you've got other teachers who teach standard American on your website, haven't you?
Yes. So there are a number of other teachers who teach 2/1 specifically. As Jack said, most of what he teaches will be fine, whatever your system is. You can try Jack's class. And if you'd like to additionally try one of the other classes, just let me know. And you can see what you think. We have folks from all over the world, all different bidding systems in our different lessons. So yeah, any questions like that, reach out. I'll help make sure you end up in the right place.
Charles is just telling us it's the end of another power hour. He likes my expression, power hour. Definitely was a power hour. There was a lot in there. And Roz has got a question. What's the advantage of playing ACOL to playing a strong no trump? Roz, I'll tell you about half an hour to answer that.
Yeah, gosh, it's the biggest debate we can imagine. But it's a great question. It's one that comes up quite a lot.
All I would say is it's the advantages of playing ACOL and a strong no trump. What I will say to you, Roz, is 95% of the UK and Ireland still play a weak no trump, 12 to 14 ACOL. The rest of the world plays strong no trump. I will tell you also, Roz, that most of the international players, England and America, they all play strong no trump and a 5-card major. But having said that, Roz, I play ACOL. I'm a bit old-fashioned. I don't like change. I'm over 50. I can still win tournaments playing Akol quite nicely. Thank you very much.
Probably the most important thing, Jack. Tell me if I'm right with this. That you and your partner have an agreement about what your system is, that you guys keep communicating with each other away from the table and at the table. So, yeah, lots of people debate it, but find a good teacher, find a good partner, and you'll be in good shape. We'll provide the teacher. You bring your partner.
Yeah, luckily my bridge partner, he loved Akol. He's still with us, actually. He's 85, Bill Townsend, but he was a grandmaster about 3 times over. So he did know a thing or two about the game. So I was quite lucky to have him as my partner. We were like the Yoda and Luke Skywalker, a Star Wars analogy, Bashir. So he was the Yoda, the kind of the wise man, and I was the young buck,
That's wonderful.
With the lightsaber.
That's wonderful. So that's we're learning the Force from you. You learned the Force from him, and
yeah, no, it was good fun. So, Bashir, now I need to make myself a cup of tea because I'm on with my beginners at 11 o'clock. It's a busy morning for me.
Yep. We better wrap up here. Let Jack have a chance to rest up before the beginner lesson starting not too long from now. So lovely to have so many folks here, our regulars. We really appreciate everything you do for Jack's lessons, for LearnBridge Online, for the whole community, and for folks visiting us today. Thank you so much for taking the time to be with us, whether you're watching live or by replay. We appreciate you being here with us. Please feel free to share this lesson with any of your bridge friends who might enjoy it.
Sounds like the police are coming for you, Bashir. You better hide.
Yeah, we better get out. I'm going to have to hide.
Just one final thing. And yes, you'll be in touch by email with the newcomers, obviously, with the promotion, the special offer. And it's very easy to sign up, as you say. And yeah, I would just say give it a go for a month, see how you get on, and with this 2-month special offer, it really is a special one. But thank you, Bashir, for hosting as always. Nice to see you.
Always my pleasure. Thank you, Jack.
I'll say goodbye.
Bye, everyone.
Bye, Jack's mum.